Yep, we're back and ChatGPT plays government simulator. And what better country to play as than the big blue blob? America. That's right. Land of the free and, well, not really free at this time. Now I know what you're thinking.
Isn't America a democracy? How can ChatGPT represent a
democracy?
I'm glad you asked. We're gonna use 3. In our case, the first AI will be this man, who may or may not have made Native Americans cry. These are the other 2. This is the President's Cabinet. We'll call the first one Secretary of the Treasury. The second guy is Secretary of State. Basically, the Secretary of the Treasury will manage all the economic stuff. The budget, the taxes, while the Secretary of State manages all the foreign affairs and the military. Got that? Good. Our story begins in 1836. The US is steamrolling west to the Pacific Ocean. So what's going to happen is every single 4 years or so, every single election cycle basically, we're going to have a new president potentially. So we're going to have to tell ChatGPT to do that, to have a new president, and basically the ChatGPT is going to roleplay as the president. And roleplay it did. Alright, so the foreign policy: embrace manifest destiny, expand westward into native lands. Okay. So with the president ready to commit atrocities, now we had to figure out the budget. And so we're just going to input everything into ChatGPT and it'll calculate stuff. Now for some weird reason, Andrew Jackson really loved farms. Every single policy had something to do with agriculture. So it wasn't a surprise when his entire economic policy was about building farms. Fortunately, the Secretary of the Treasury thought it'd be smart to build a few factories. Interestingly, the Secretary of the Treasury wanted to go protectionist with our trade tariffs. So we want to put tariffs on sugar. Or actually, we want to put... we don't want to protect domestic supplies. We want to encourage exports. Yes. And since President Jackson wanted to maintain the status quo, we were not going to reform any laws. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's no surprise that manifest destiny was a big part of the president's policies. The Secretary of State was eyeing Texas up. But oh no, Mexico got there first. All we could do was hope Texas could fend them off. Oh, look. They took Texas. Let's go over to ChatGPT. And annexed Texas. The Secretary of State wasn't quite convinced for war just yet. Well, yeah, here we go. Indian removal. While President Jackson was off doing bad things, we denounced the Mexicans for their actions. At the same time, we were still in the process of increasing our military spending. Oh, Native uprising. Colonization of Minnesota. That is where I live. The natives had enough, but President Jackson acted swiftly and sent in the army. After this victory, Andrew Jackson was elected once again. This time though, he wasn't playing around. Consider launching a military offensive to retake Texas. After a year of building up the military, talks of war were now on the horizon. It wasn't a matter of if anymore. It was when and why. Goals of the war should align with the broader vision of manifest destiny and the strategic interests of the United States. Yep, and we are now in a diplomatic play with Texas. So let's mobilize. Ooh, nationalism. On September 23rd, 1338, the war began. It was a massacre. In 1 month, we reclaimed Texas. The Mexicans were on the run. We could have stopped there. Instead, we pushed on into the desert, into the mountains. Each enemy killed was a step closer to manifest destiny. Dude, the Americans are killing these fools. What happened here? Whoa. Yeah, so I think this is like a bug or a glitch or something. and our armies couldn't find paths to the front, so then, like, we had no men on the front line. Yeah, and there's like no cool way to explain this, so it's just really frustrating, so I'm just gonna skip over this part. Eventually, we got pushed all the way back to my house in Minnesota. Oh, this is disgusting, man. These fronts are causing issues. Eventually, we took Texas back. Aha! Would you look at that? We won the war somehow. Yay! We won. Yay. And just like that, in 4 years, ChatGPT achieved manifest destiny. What? It's only been 4 years? You got elected again?